Hello, hello, hello. I am the host with the platform most, Troy here, and I was lucky enough to get into the beta testing for the Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Cannot always pronounce that here, but yeah, Sonic Racing CrossWorlds beta test here over the weekend, and just wanted to share my thoughts here. Give you some background on my end here. Obviously, big fan of Sonic, but I've been a big fan of kart racers basically since probably the first time I ever played Mario Kart 64 back in God knows 1999, 98, somewhere around that ballpark here. But Sonic and Sega All Star Racing Transform is one of my all-time favorite games, a game that I still revisit to this day. And while I didn't dislike Team Sonic Racing, I did view it overall as kind of a disappointment overall. It's just like one step forward, two step back situation. So I was very excited for this when it got revealed in the Game Awards in late 2024, and when they saw the gameplay at the State of Play a couple of weeks ago, it got me really intrigued. I was very, very lucky that I got into the beta, and I played about roughly 6 hours of gameplay so far into the beta. It sounds about right, 6 or 7 at the very most. And overall, it's just I've been really enjoying my time with it. I think this has a lot of promise. Just kind of like the some of the pros and cons that I got here. The controls do take some time to get used to. I did feel like it was a little bit more stiff compared to like Team Sonic Racing or Sonic and Sega All Star Racing Transformed. However, I think it's because there's different kart mechanics. I like how that's been played into field. Like obviously you have your speed type, your acceleration type, your power type stuff. I didn't think it would play as big of a factor, but and again, it's just small stuff like there. It's like your handling type stuff. Like my personal favorite, I played for speed for a little bit here, but I kind of went to handling a bit as I played further along, just because I like the able to drift better. Like the drifting in handling is a lot smoother than in speed, where I feel like I was messing up more than I was nailing my drifting mechanics on that end here. So it just depends on your play style. And then there is a thing called mods where you unlock them throughout the beta, but they're basically kind of like you have a certain number of slots. I believe you have like 6 slots, and the max one mod can do is 3, and then the minimum is 1. And you can use each slot to like just boost up your cart to what fits your needs. Like some like give you better chances of defense items, more rings, better gets rings attract onto you when you're passing on the road, all these sorts of stuff here. So I've been really I really like that mechanic. And once I kind of like got the use of suite of that, which it took I would say about 30 minutes to an hour, and I really felt the better of the controls, and I really like how the game controls overall. The game looks great. Outside of just like this in the lobby, waiting for games where there's clearly a lag. Granted, this is in beta, so I'm not like really faulting it. And even if that is in the final game, it's not the end of the world to me personally, just because like what matters to me most is the gameplay, and it finds games pretty quickly. It goes pretty quick. It's not like I would say super fast, but it's not like I would say super slow either. But once you're in the game, I rarely ran into any issues whatsoever. The game ran at a consistent 60 frames per second as far as I can tell. Very smooth, especially when you go in between the cross worlds during the second lap. It's a seamless transition. Man, I talk like I'm like exchanging monies here, but yeah, it's a seamless transition. And I didn't notice any graphical errors or any bugs in that department. Animations can seem a little stiff at times, but again, it's nothing that I would say is the end of the world type stuff. So the game still bursts with charm. The art direction's on point. The game's very colorful, very very lively. I it just looks fantastic. Makes me wonder how the game's gonna run on the Switch One. Obviously, we're gonna get a Switch Two version of this game, and I think that version's gonna run very well. This beta is only on PS5. You can only play it on PS5, so obviously, it's like this is like the the high end outside of like very high end PCs or Series X type stuff. But I believe this is still coming out on Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch One as well. So I can see this running on the PS4 pretty all right. Maybe like not as like pretty as the PS5, but still running pretty well. I just want to know how the Switch One version is going to run, and I feel like we're not going to really see anything until that version comes out. day and day, like because once they're showing Nintendo Switch stuff, they're gonna obviously probably show Switch 2 footage more than Switch 1. So I'm very curious how that's gonna go further down the line. But that's just one of the notes. But yeah, the game was very smooth. I didn't feel any input lag or anything like that. It felt good. It felt like Sonic and Sega All Star Racing transformed to me. Like it checked all the boxes with the handling and things of that nature, with controls and courses. I believe we had 6 courses, so it was 6 courses and 4 crossroads worlds that you get to play. And honestly, like I never feel like it really repeat itself too much. Obviously, in the long play session, like I would say, like probably an hour. Like if I'm playing for like an hour or two straight, I would start kind of feeling like the repetitiveness a bit. Because also there's some people kind of pick some courses over than others, but there really wasn't like a true dud to me. I like the style of all the courses. There's even been some interesting throwbacks. Like I would never guess one of the worlds would be like Dino Jungle from freaking Sonic and the Secret Rings. Who expected a Sonic and the Secret Rings reference in the year of our Lord of 2025? Not this guy. Not this guy whatsoever. And I'm happy for it. There's been really cool throwbacks. Like one of my actually favorite courses is Wonder Museum. It's clearly inspired by Sonic Unleash, which is one of my personal favorite Sonic games, and I love the callbacks to that game. Like there's a lot of fun little nods and character with each of the courses. Meadow Harbor is another favorite of mine just because I'm a Sonic Adventure, like one of my favorite levels from Sonic Adventure 2. So like it reminds me a little bit of the After Harrier course from Sonic and Sega All Star Racing, but it still does feel like Metal Harbor, obviously with the music and things of that nature here. So I enjoy that. Rainbow Gallery. I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce that here. It's clearly Sonic colors, very colorful, very lively, things of that nature here. E Stadium is like the Mario Kart, the Mario circuit course of it. Like it's very like it straight up reminds me of the Mario circuit from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like the layout and everything. But I do like that course a lot for the aesthetic. I like the kind of like the pixel art that it has. It reminds me of and I don't know if it's the theme of it, the Sonic Superstar level Cyber Station, where you're in like inside the internet and like you're all 8-bit and pixelized and stuff like that. That's kind of the vibe that I have got from that here. And the 4 crossroads, I believe it was Sky Road, which is returning from Team Sonic Racing. A lot of fun, airplane, like very colorful, great remix type stuff. Uh, yeah, Dino Jungle is one of the other crossroads worlds that I can think of here. There's like this Kraken one. I forgot the name of it here, but it's like a crack, like an ocean beat. Like you start off in the ocean and you climb up this this ship with with um with ship with like this massive kraken that's like blocking your way, and then you end with the um flying in the mechanical, which I do like how they do the transition, the transformations here, which was one of welcome surprise. Like that was like one of the things I really disliked about Team Sonic Racing is like they kind of took that mechanic away, which I thought was one of the strong suits of coming out of Sonic and Sega Also Racing Transformed. Obviously, Mario Kart kind of took with that with 7. Well, they started with 7, but I feel like with Sonic and Sega Also Racing really expanded upon it, and they really Nintendo expanded upon it with 8. And then just kind of going back to like just regular kart racing, which I can see that a win to some, but I don't know. It just felt like a missed opportunity there, and I like that it's returning to that. We didn't get to play with the extreme gears as much as I would at all. Like it was not a part of the beta, which makes sense. I'm very curious how that is going to be. Is it like more aesthetic? Like are you able to race the entire race with an extreme gear? How that plays? Like is that like the bike of this game, like with the carts and bikes of Mario Kart? I would like to know more about that here, especially as someone who's been a big fan of Sonic Riders. I think Sonic Riders is an extremely underrated game. While not perfect, I always thought it was a cool concept. Love the aesthetic of it, and I love that they're bringing it back. And obviously, Jet the Hawk is a character that is coming back into this game. We didn't get to play him in the game. I believe the characters you could play is Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Eggman, Cream, Omega, Jazz. That was the weirdest one. I believe, yeah, 8 characters. That sounds about right. Yeah, 8 characters. but they're still like they're promising this will be like the biggest roster of characters in the series, like in the series, like, and we're gonna get more. I think they kind of confirmed with the one of the digital deluxe editions that they're gonna be Sonic Prime characters. So I would not be surprised if we see like Sonic Prime, Sonic movie crossover, kind of like we did with the Sonic, Shadow DLC with Sonic X Shadow Generations, which I think would be really cool. It'd be kind of like, kind of like the different skins like in Mario Kart, like, you got Mario, Metal Mario, or like Baby Mario, but I feel like they have enough character. Because even though like it's the same, like, it's the same character technically with like, Game Sonic, Sonic Prime, and Movie Sonic, they are still three different interpretations of it, and I think that'd be kind of fun to have that in the game, especially if we can get courses based on the Prime cartoon and the movie universe. I think that'd be really cool. They also, I think Sega did confirm that there will be some form of Sega representation in it. I'm hoping we get Persona or Yakuza characters in this fucker. I would really, really, really love to see my boy Ichiban in a cart with racing with Sonic. That would be fun as heck. Or the protagonist from like Persona 4 or 5 or 3. I think that'd be kind of silly and fun. That's kind of the dumb crossovers that I really, really love. But yeah, I just they're really, I just had to enjoy the time. Like there was some lag like in like with the interface, primarily when you're like waiting for a match. Like when you're in the lobby, like that's where I would say most of the lag on that end here. But it wasn't like anything like game destructive, anything like that. Like I enjoyed it overall. My really only major criticism so far that has me kind of concerned, I like the items that they have. I mean the Wisp. I never really hated the Wisp. I think they're perfect and like fits in the Sonic universe type stuff, and they're make great power ups. Like they have like the different kinds of Wisps in Sonic colors. I got the one that you zip zag or like drill, the one that like absorbs everything. Like I like that. I like the concept of the items. The balancing is where it gets a little tricky. It starts getting into that chaos, like really chaotic BS territory that I feel like Mario Kart Wii had, that really kind of turned me off to that game tremendously. Like as much as like I still enjoyed Mario Kart Wii, the item balancing in that game really was hard for me to revisit when that game was like act like the main Mario Kart here, and it's definitely getting to that territory. I think they could easily patch it out before launch, or like patch it out after launch here. So that's like my only major concern going in. But outside of that, like I really really enjoyed this beta. Like I really, going into it, I was already pretty excited for this game, just because like it's been over 5 years since Team Sonic Racing. um I like the CrossWorlds mechanic, and once again, like it gives you that Ratchet and Clank Ripped Apart vibe. Like I love, like it's always the second race you get to pick the CrossWorld. There's always two. It's like either sometime a random one or like another like course at random selection here, and it's first place, basically like the first place in the race basically picks which one would be. And then there's like sometimes you get Frenzy where like your drifts can go easier to get to like the maximum drift, and like there's more boost pads. It's more chaotic and stuff like that. It keeps the game fresh, and I think there's like such, if they have like, and I think it's like rumored to have like 20 courses with like 12 to 14 cross worlds. I think that will be perfectly fine, because I think you can make enough balance and enough like variety to the tracks that I like no play session would be the same. So I'm very excited for this. I think this is further along than we expect. I feel like this is going to be a summer release. I think this is going to be a summer release. Maybe like mid to late summer, like maybe like July, August, September at the latest, because this feels very far along. Like, and especially like I heard like early word, like just from other people who've been able to play it, like outlets and stuff like that. This seems like it's probably going to be a summer release. The only thing I think probably why they're hesitant on releasing today, because we're also getting a new Mario Kart this year, and that's the only thing I can see this game really having a hard time overcoming. Because as much as like people don't really think Mario Kart is like GTA level, to Nintendo it is. Like you got to keep in mind, Mario Kart 8 is the biggest selling game on the Switch. More than 50% of people have it. People bought the Switch just for Mario Kart and stuff like that here. And I know like the Sonic Racing games have done well, but they never been like, like gangbusters and stuff like that here. So that's like I hope it Mario Kart doesn't overshadow it. If there's just like a few month difference, I think the game will be perfectly fine. Especially because they're really, I feel like Sega's really emphasizing on online play, cross play. This is going to be on all platforms, so like I think this is going to be a potential another win on this hot streak that obviously Sega has been in. Who would ever expect, like, if you would have asked me back in 2020 if Sega would be on this hot streak, I might have like kind of go like maybe, you know, but I'm just happy to see it here. um and I just yeah, just a lot of great stuff to really excite to look forward to. But overall, those are like my thoughts and vibes. Have you guys played the beta? Are you guys excited for Sonic Crossroads? I mean, I would love the guys hear it here. Just definitely like drop a comment, stuff like that here. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff here. I do think we're probably gonna get the release date at the Switch 2 event. I don't know why. Don't quote me on that. I just have a feeling that that's where they're gonna announce it here, and I'm just yeah, I just hope we get more stuff like that. But yeah, I would like to hear what you think. I do stream on Twitch if you guys want to catch me up on there. I was streaming this weekend over there, had a lot of fun and things of that nature. So definitely come on through. But until next time, y'all, Sonic Cross Worlds. Thank y'all. Peace.